The battlefield was a wasteland, scorched under a crimson sky. Jagged ruins stretched for miles, remnants of a once thriving city now reduced to crumbling stone and twisted metal. Through the hazy glow of fires still burning, Commander Shas'O Kaelon of the Tau Empire surveyed the scene from his XV-8 Crisis battlesuit, its systems humming quietly as it adjusted to his every command. His helmet display showed the movements of his fire warriors, a disciplined line advancing steadily toward the objective. The mission was clear: secure the Imperial Bastion and hold the line at all costs. Kaelin's voice crackled over the comms. "Fire warriors, advance under the cover of drones. We shall face the Guela with precision and unity. For the greater good." High above, devilfish transports roared, releasing swarms of shield drones that zipped through the air, weaving around incoming enemy fire. The sky crackled with the exchange of energy blasts and bullets. Below, the Tau soldiers moved like clockwork, their pulse rifles spitting blue-white energy at the advancing Imperial Guard forces. Suddenly, a warning alert flashed across Kaelon's visor, an ominous red glow on the horizon. "Crisis team, prepare for heavy armor." Through the smoke, towering Lehman Russ battle tanks appeared, their treads grinding through the rubble, guns turning toward the Tau lines. Without hesitation, Kaelon triggered his battlesuit's jetpack, propelling him high into the air. His team followed, soaring like birds of prey. "Target the rear of their formation. XV-88s, cover the flanks," Kaelon ordered. With a burst of speed, he darted behind the tanks, releasing a barrage of missiles from his shoulder pods. The projectiles slammed into the rear armor of the Lehman Russ, shattering its treads and forcing it to halt. A second later, a concentrated volley from his plasma rifle melted through its hull, turning the war machine into a burning hulk. The remaining tanks retaliated, their cannons roaring with fury. One crisis suit took a direct hit, its shields flaring before the explosion tore the pilot apart. Kaelin's HUD flared as he felt the loss but suppressed it. There was no time for grief in battle. "Keep moving," he commanded, launching into another evasive maneuver. Across the battlefield, the hammerhead tanks of the Tau rumbled into position. A loud whine filled the air as one of their ion cannons charged up. In a blinding flash, the lead Imperial tank exploded, its turret spinning off into the air. The shockwave of the blast knocked several guardsmen off their feet, their formation crumbling. The Tau pushed forward, fire warriors advancing under the protective arcs of their hovering drones. In coordinated bursts, they fired, and with deadly efficiency, they thinned the ranks of the Imperium's infantry. Yet the humans did not break. They fought with a tenacity that reminded Kaelon of why the Tau sought to bring them into the fold, not eradicate them. But the human spirit would not change the outcome. For every Imperial shot, the Tau had an answer. The tide was turning. Then the ground trembled. Kaelon's sensors screamed a warning, and the towering silhouette of a massive Imperial knight emerged through the smoke and fire. Its heavy steps shook the earth, and its ion shield flared, deflecting a volley of missile fire. The knight raised its thermal cannon, and with a thunderous roar it unleashed a torrent of energy, vaporizing several Tau battlesuits in an instant. "Concentrate all fire on the knight," Kaelon ordered, even as his crisis suit dodged incoming blasts. From across the battlefield, Tau tanks, battlesuits, and fire warriors poured everything they had into the night. Railgun shots streaked through the air, pulse rifles unleashed streams of fire, but the behemoth kept coming, its shield absorbing blow after blow. With grim determination, Kaelon shot forward, weaving through enemy fire, until he was close enough to strike. With precision, he unleashed his final barrage, missiles and plasma fire targeting the knight's exposed joints. One of its legs buckled, and the giant staggered. A cheer rang out from the fire warriors below. But Kaelon knew better. The knight steadied itself and, with one last effort, fired its heavy stubber at him. He saw the barrage coming too late. The impacts rocked his crisis suit, alarms blaring as his systems took damage. His HUD flickered, and for a moment he could see nothing but static. But he was still alive. Through the smoke, Kaelin's sensors caught a faint glimmer. The Knight's reactor. Exposed, vulnerable. "This is for the greater good," he whispered, pushing his damaged suit to its limits. With one final burst from his jetpack, he surged forward, his suit's plasma rifle charging for the last time. The beam pierced the Knight's reactor, and in a blinding explosion of light and heat, the towering war machine was no more. The blast knocked him to the ground, his systems shutting down as darkness overtook him. The battle was over. The Tau had won. Victory for the greater good had been achieved. But it had come at a great cost.